We're back on Inside Tennessee with two candidates who would like to serve as the next city council member in at-large Seat B. The primary election is in August, but both of these candidates will move on to the general election in November. That's just the way the election works. We ended talking about the homeless issue. What is your solution, Mr. Marlow? And then we'll go to you, Ms. Helsley.
Well, it's a complicated problem that's got many parts for a solution. And one type of solution that is practical that the city could accomplish would be what's hidden within my zoning amendment. If we could adopt a cottage courtyard style development, that would allow tiny home developments on small lots scattered throughout the city near bus lines in walkable areas as recommended by the Missing Middle Housing Program. That would lower the cost per unit, which would allow us to create more units quickly and house more people. And this plan, or that type of plan, has been successfully used in other cities around the country with promising results.
Your thoughts, Ms. Helsley?
Homelessness is obviously an existential crisis everywhere. I think it needs to be treated with a holistic approach, which includes a lot of stuff. Housing first, obviously affordable housing, which would fall into the cottage style part of the missing middle, drug rehabilitation, mental health services, and more. So, I mean, I've had family members that were unhoused at times, always from addiction issues, every single time. And I just think we need to treat these people we need to support them, and they shouldn't be treated with scorn.
Susan?
I want to ask you, Bentley, you've been in the Mechanicsville area for several years.
Almost 20.
Yeah, you've been beat up yourself. Somebody killed your dog. I mean, it's been a crisis, but you've stayed there and are trying to do something about it. I know I was involved with the Hope 6 project originally. You were critical of that. But tell me what you are doing in the Mechanicsville area to make it a better place.
Well, in addition to rebuilding many of the older homes and now building new homes on empty lots, sometimes those homes come through the Homemakers program with the city. I've also started a 501c3 private foundation. It's a specialty type of nonprofit where it's no solicitations, no grants. It's entirely funded by my own money. And through that, I hire homeless and formerly homeless individuals. We offer them job training. Now, some of them only want to mow yards and pick up trash. Some of them have gone on to become framers. The success stories are few and far between. But when we do have a success story, it's something that drives us forward. There's a lot of false starts, there's a lot of failures. And then those that are working for us, as available, we will provide housing as well, either no cost or incredibly subsidized cost.
And you take a salary out of that?
I do. My accountant tells me I've got to take a minimum wage salary, so I don't know, $13,000, $14,000 a year, basically minimum wage. I mean, it is minimum wage, it's just however he calculates it.
And Debbie, you talked a little bit about homelessness and so what you support. Homelessness seems to be, at one time I thought it was just confined to Broadway. You know, it's not. No. It's moved now around our entire community. And how, as a councilwoman, what would you do to help solve some of these problems? Everybody talks about it, and you are actually trying to do something about it, I guess, but what would you do to implement a plan that makes a difference in our homeless population?
Well, it all takes money, obviously. So, you know, that comes down to budget, right? You've got 9 council people, and you've got a strong mayoral government. So, you know, who sets the budget? Permanent supportive housing is obviously the best solution around for people who actually have mental issues, but it's expensive. You know, we've got Flanagan's Landing, McMinnville. Did they just open Caswell Manor, I think? But they're expensive, and people, I don't know, it's a budget issue. So we need some more of that. And, you know, Flanagan Landing, when they started that, and I could line you people up here who thought it was, I'm from South Knoxville, the most terrible idea ever.
I remember.
You remember?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Everybody was, and now I have some that would stand right here and tell you it absolutely is a wonderful thing.
How do we have enough money to build a baseball stadium, but we don't have enough money to take care of people that are mentally ill?
You're asking the wrong person. That question,
you want the job. I'm asking you.
Well, I want the job, but the stadium's coming. I didn't have anything to do with the stadium.
Well, what are you going to do? You're going to sit there and let them run over you?
No, sir, I'm not.
What are you going to do?
Well, I can't take the stadium away. Is that your question?
No,
I mean, I think we have to.
I want to know why the great state of Tennessee closed the biggest mental health facility in the state, which was Eastern State Psychiatric Hospital,
Correct.
and put everybody on the street, and they're all underneath the bridge now. And we spend no money on mental health, except we all run our mouth about how mental health needs to come forward. Well, tell me how you're going to pay for it.
All we can do is lobby the mayor to do it because council does not control the
Well,
budget.
then why do
Are
we
gonna-
need a council? If the mayor makes all the decisions, what are you two?
Well, I mean,
characters
the
trying to
mayor
do?
provides a budget. You can't line item veto a budget. You can't. You have you either it's all or nothing, and that's in the charter. I mean, I can't change that.
But what are you going to do about it?
I'm going to try to get them to supply money for those needs.
And would you take money away from something else in the budget? 44% of the budget goes to public safety. There's talk on council right now and debate about changing emergency response in 911 calls. So let's get both of you on the record about whether you think that's a good idea to send not an officer but a mental health specialist as one person and a trauma expert as well instead of sending police officers. Is that a good idea, Ms. Helsley?
With proper training, yes, but I think that's something that really has to be worked on. I put in the phone system years ago. The call processors that answer 911 calls, they would have to have more training to decide whether you're going to go on a domestic call without an officer. Right, you don't want to send a social worker out to, people are real, everybody has guns now. You'd have to be really careful. So with training, yes.
Okay, Mr. Marlow, what do you think of that idea?
I'm more comfortable with the co-responder format, which has an officer with a social worker. I think that is the appropriate way that you're balancing both sides. You have the officer there that has the training to restrain individuals, to handle heated environments. And then if that's not needed and that officer in his expertise can make that decision, then the social worker has the safety and comfort of having the backup of the officer, if needed, to come in and exercise their expertise to diffuse the situation through alternative methods.
All right, we're going to take another break on Inside Tennessee. Back with more. John North will lead us off in our next block with two candidates for at-large Council Seat B up next.